guys, welcome to my new series called Quickfire Reviews, where I'm going to try and talk as quickly as possible and get through my reviews. This week I'm going to be talking about some of the books I got through NetGalley recently. The first one I want to talk to you about is called Talented. It's by Sophie Davis, and it's dystopian young adult, kind of dystopian. I don't know whether is it classified as dystopian or not. You have to check that for me. It's a dystopian world set 100 years into the future after there's been a series of events including natural disasters and nuclear waste, which have kind of caused contamination all around the world. And the first babies born after this contamination, some of them have talents. That's what they're known as in the current things, but they are basically superpowers, and they also have like weird coloured eyes and things like that. But the main premise is that they have superpowers, like just different kind of abilities that normal people don't have. Some of them include what they call polymorph, which is essentially being able to turn into animals. They have different versions of that, like some might only be able to turn into one and things like that. They have other ones, like people who are really clever, like being able to process information faster than computers. And our main character, called Talia, has a really rare, strong ability which she's able to read minds and manipulate people's minds. So basically this event has caused the United States to split into two fractions, one of which is against the new talent sort of things, and the other one is for the talents, and a series of unfortunate events that's happened to Talia in her childhood has led her to stay with the director of a company called Toxic. Toxic is for the talents. It's basically a school where they train them to use their talents and hone in on them, and then they kind of go to a kind of a university or college or something like that, where they choose which kind of thing they want to do. So you could, if you have like mental abilities, then you might call what's called a crypto, which is the people who gather intel and things like, or like process all the information. They're basically computers, but human computers. And they have other people that's tech people that create new technology. Talia is trained to be a hunter. Hunters go out into the world and on missions, and they get intel for the company. And they also, if the company wants to kill someone on the other side, then they'd be the ones that are tasked to do that. So Talia is a pledge. She's training to be a new member of a team. The teams are made of 3 people. The other team are called Eric and Henry, I think. So it's all about her training as a pledge, basically. I don't know if anyone read the Cherub series by Robert Muchamore, which is a middle grade series. This very much reminds me of that, in that they go in on missions and things, but it's like a more grown-up version of that, and I love that because the Cherub series was like my childhood. I loved that series. And so it's kind of like that, but mixed with superpowers and mixed with dystopia. It's great, and I like the fact that it's dystopia, but it's not like any of the other dystopias, really. That's why I wasn't sure if you'd really classify it as a dystopia, because it's really not like those worlds where the world's been split into several fractions and that kind of thing. It's more like a natural split of the United States into 2 fractions, like you would have in a war. And that's why I liked it. It was kind of like it was a very realistic chain of what would happen in this weird scenario. So I enjoyed that a lot. I ended up giving this series 4 stars. I would have gotten to 5 stars, but I did have a couple of issues. Like, there was a sort of a young adulty triangle, but not really a triangle. It's kind of more natural. I did appreciate that it's kind of more natural, because I know a lot of books where they have these, oh my god, you're gonna be my boyfriend forever and ever. It's really not like that. It's really like she has a boyfriend, and then something goes, and then there's a new guy coming along, and she's trying to figure all that out. So this is kind of a triangle, but it's not at the same time. It's more natural, like a natural chain of events of what happens in people's lives, just without the superpowers and stuff. And the other thing I didn't really like is the fact that she's supposed to be this really strong character, and for the most part she is, but she just cries a lot for like a really strong character. So that kind of bugged me a bit. The last thing that bugged me was the ending. It wasn't very satisfying. I realised that it's the first book in the series, but wasn't a very satisfying ending for me personally, but it's well worth a read. Don't let what I'm saying cut you off. It's like it is 4 stars for sure, and it was great. I really liked it. The next book I want to talk to you about is Doll Bones by Holly Black. This is, I think this is a children's, but it's well creepy for a children's book, right? So Doll Bones is it's really cute, like coming of age sort of story where these children all play with their dolls, but they're coming to an age where they can't really get away with that, and that society is saying that, you know, we really shouldn't be playing with dolls anymore. So it's this guy and 2 girls, they're starting to gain feelings and all these things, and they go on one last adventure based on this creepy doll that has been part of their story. And they go on an adventure to find this creepy doll. So basically the idea is that the doll is made out of, so basically the premise is that the doll is made out of bones, and there's kind of a creepy spirit of the girl that died inside the doll, and she wants to be put to rest. So they go on an epic adventure to go and try and bury this girl into, or this doll into where she wants to be buried. And it's well creepy, I'm not gonna lie, it's really great. Holly Black's able to combine really cute and really creepy, but I'd be scared if I read that as a kid, not gonna lie. So it's worth a read, it's really quick, it's creepy cute, it's got cute illustrations in it, and I really think this would make a good Tim Burton film, to be honest. That's what it brings to mind, this kind of creepy cute brings to mind Tim Burton in my mind, but I don't know about you. The next book I want to talk to you about is Hush by Stacey R. Campbell, and it's a boarding school book. It's great. It's about this guy that goes over to a boarding school in Canada after going through his, it might be his aunt, his dead great aunt or something like that, papers. He finds something curious about a girl that's been adopted in secret that is actually part of a royal family, and he wants to be a journalist, so he presents his case to his teacher saying, this is what I would like to do my case on, and his teacher sends him to Canada, because that would happen in real life, to a boarding school for 1 semester, and he has to gather information to try and prove that, or disprove, that this girl is actually a member of this royal family or not, basically. So it's kind of a good, it's kind of like a, aside from the fact this kind of underlying gaining intel about the princess thing, it's mostly just a cute boarding school contemporary story, and everyone likes that. It's not particularly amazing. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars, but it is very much one of those chill out books that I quite like to read from occasion. So yeah. The writing style was good. It was very just easygoing book where, if you're not a fan of the whole, like the fact that he goes over this purpose and this purpose really doesn't come into the book that much, if that will bother you, then don't read it. But I quite liked it. So the last book I want to talk to you about is called Death of the Body by Rick Chianterito? I do not know how to pronounce your name, dude, sorry. I will leave the link in the description to all of these books. But anyway, it's by Rick someone or another, and this is a weird book. Let's just start with, it's very much not like I expected it to be. So basically, it starts off in this fantasy world called Orendo or something like that, and these people that they say that they're not humans, it's not really obvious what they are, but they're gathering food from the forest, and when they go back, they find that their village has been invaded by humans, and you find out that these people are mages, and the main character, his character, is at one with the earth. He can talk to trees and stuff, which is cool. But I was ready to give up on this, but about 20% of the way through the book, there's a sudden change and you're back in like the United States, like normal United States, which is weird. So I stuck with it because I was like, actually, this didn't go where I thought it was going to go. I'll stick with it. And it's actually a pretty good story, but if you get past the first like jarring thing, because it is weird that it doesn't happen and there's no like evidence that this change is going to happen up till that point. I don't know if what I'm saying is making any sense to you, but it's kind of just a bit sudden, and then like that whole theme of the book, the whole like writing and theme, like it's what goes from fantasy to like a normal present day kind of world, and that's just odd. There's like a scene that happens then, and then it jumps again, like, but only like in time, so it's still in the United States. You don't know much about what's going on as you read this. I think I gave this 3.5 stars in the end, because I enjoyed it once I'd got past the whole whoa what happened, and I actually enjoyed it, and it's a good story for sure. This is one of those books where I can't really tell much about it. You just have to go into it kind of blind, because if I do, I'm giving away too much. So I'm not going to tell you much about it. It's just I'm going to tell you that the characters and things like that, they're all very interesting. The world building, in terms of the fantasy bit at the start, that was confusing for me, because obviously I had no idea what's going on, and that's why I almost gave up on it. Like, because it wasn't really enough world building for me to have a clue, really, or to be able to build up a sense of what the world looked like, what the village looked like. So when it jumps forward into the present day, it picks up from there. For sure, and it's a lot better. I think that it's worth reading, but I wouldn't pick your hopes up too much. Maybe this is just not my style. Maybe if you're okay with this kind of a book where it kind of just jumps into a different world, then maybe you'd appreciate it more than I would. So that was all the books I wanted to talk about this time. I don't know if I managed to do this quick enough. Hopefully I managed to do it quick-ish. I kind of wanted to do a bunch of like reviews in one video, because I feel like I prefer watching those kind of videos rather than just where you review one whole book in full, because I am always afraid of being spoiled. So let me know if you've read any of these books. I think they're all out, even though I got them from NetGuy. And tell me what you thought, if you liked any of them, and tell me if you like this style of video. I'll see you all next week. Bye!